Hey folks, Babbage here. We're in the long dark currently with the blue trailer, far from HRV. Trying to decide what's the best use of our time here. It is.
Man, this pack is getting kind of heavy.
What's up, Doc? Oh yeah, eat some carrots. Eat some stuff. Do we have any other canned goods? Risky peaches. Okay. Let's see how bad it is out here. It's a windstorm. Full-time blizzard. Full-time blizzard. What's to be done? Wait. Guess we wait.
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
Guess we can try to make it to the bunker. Okay. I'm honestly not certain who's going to be on tonight. This is the weekend before Halloween, so I'm certain some people are doing Halloween stuff either on stream or off stream. And then next week will be the same problem.
Much more.
It's immediately after Halloween, but some people will be doing Halloween stuff during that block. So, yeah, you may not see a lot of people online. But we're here. I popped over to the university for a little bit for our department had a Halloween party. It was okay. I mean, it's the type of party you would expect a bunch of introverts to put together. I mean, there were some crafts, there was some music, there was, costume contests, stuff like that. But very low energy. Not a bad thing, just a different thing. Yeah. So I did a last minute costume. I was like, what can I do with what's in my closet? And I decided I would, I have all the pieces to put together something that resembles a tuxedo. I have a bow tie, I have a cummerbund, and I have dark suit, white shirt. So I did that, and I added one thing, which was a sign. something silly. So I went as a formal apology. I dressed up very formally, and I presented a sign, an apology, because I figured librarians, library science archive people, we love terrible jokes and terrible puns. And so I actually offered a formal apology for my terrible, very funny outfit, costume. It was terrible. I don't know. It was embarrassing, honestly. I was like, sometimes I'm able to put a lot more thought into it, but this time I was just like, no. Kind of last minute decision to show up. I was trying to find something to do. I've mentioned this in the other streams this week, but lately I've been wanting to go out and do more. Like every 3 years, there's like this urge to like, well, I should probably be more social. And then after repeated failures, I say, and this is why I don't try so hard. Terrible at being social. Then I retreat back into my hermit life. But we'll see. We'll see if we can avoid that. But it is, winter is coming soon. Soon everything grinds to a halt. No one wants to go out. Hermit life becomes more and more attractive. Hey, Wolfie. Go away. Go away. Hey, Lady Q. Yay! Welcome in. Thanks for the cheer. Thanks for the resub. How are you doing this weekend? How's your Saturday been? I was saying earlier that I was out earlier this evening in a somewhat, I won't say failed attempt to be social, but mediocre attempt to be social. I attended our department had a Halloween party, but it was pretty much what you expect from introverts putting together a party. So there was like some crafts, some board games, a costume contest. But a little bit of music, but yeah, it was pretty chill, very chill. And yeah. So I probably spent more time traveling there and back than I did actually at the party. Just yeah. Yeah, our department event lasted all of, it went 6 until 8. So it takes me about 40 minutes to get there and 40 minutes to get back. And I didn't leave until 6:30. I got there at 7. And then I left at 8 and got home, around 8:45. Took a shower. And decided to stream, so. My roommate is out attending a concert for the Vancouver Symphony Orchestra. So she's out with her chemistry friends. So, oh wow! Thanks for all the gift subs. And I hope our friends enjoy the gift subs as well. So yeah, she's her event started. Her concert started at what was it? Let's say 8 o'clock. She's not going to be back until after 11. I think. But yeah. Oh, I need one more to reach my goal. Ooh, let's see who gets there. Yep. So I went with the cheesiest, silliest costume. I looked in my closet and I was like, I don't know what I could do for a costume. And then I thought about it. I thought, well, ooh, look at those. So what could I do for a costume? It's like, well, got a dark suit, got a bow tie. I even have a cummerbund. And then I was thinking, I've done something in the past, it's like a James Bond type. One year I was very clever and I made like a bunch of signs and I dressed up as a silent movie special effects or sound effects guy. And basically all the signs were like, boom, crash, pow. A little bit anachronistic, but anyways, that was fun. But this time around, all I did was I went with, and I have to admit, I cheated. I was like, what could I do with a tuxedo type look? And I just Googled it, and one of the suggestions was formal apology. So I printed out a sign that said apology in a very formal script, and that's what I went as, formal apology. So not as cool as some of the other ideas I've had, but it was something, right? And there was a whole group of people that really went all out on their costumes. There was a very excellent witch. There was a whole team of people that went as different characters. They obviously coordinated. They went different characters from Shrek. I think we're going to skip getting these. Got enough teas. We just want to avoid running into a bear. Is this a bad idea? This is almost certainly a bad idea. Yeah. But I figure, you know, librarians, archivists, we all love terrible jokes and terrible puns, so that's what I figured to go with. I don't hear anyone. Bear's down that way already, okay. I think we're gonna go to the bunker. Oops, did you go back already? Oh. So one of our struggles right now is we do not have a bedroll still. Still, no bedroll. 26 days. No bedroll. What's a hype chest? Apparently we get something cool. That's apparently what was in the hype chest. Oh well. Yeah. I was saying in one of my earlier streams earlier this week, October's hitting me kind of hard where I think about it feels so much harder these days to like meet people, to like find people to hang out with, people to do things with. I have like a D&D group. I have 2 D&D groups, right? And they're mostly people out of my program. And I've got there's a handful of writers that I know that are still in the area, but we're all very, very busy. Well, a lot of them are very busy. But yeah, I just find like once you get to your 40s and early 50s, if you're a single person, it's really hard to meet other people to hang out with. Like, not even to date, just to hang out with people. Actually, we need to find ourselves someplace to sleep. So yeah, it's I definitely feel that. It's like, how do you meet people? You know, D&D. Like my church community is kind of, I mean, I have like a handful of people that I am somewhat close to with my church community, but still there's no one like that. There's like one person that will grab lunch, you know, maybe once a month, you know, on campus because he works on campus. And yeah, it's just kind of harder, I think, because everyone's busier. And so I was kind of comparing notes with my roommate on this. She's like half my age, maybe a little bit less than half my age. Anyway, big age gap, right? And so her experience in her PhD is different. And her PhD program, it turns out to be very social. Like, and I hadn't really thought about sort of the differences between the humanities and the sciences, but like it is kind of interesting that in the sciences, like you're a research person, so all your time is spent in labs, and pretty much every day you're supposed to be on campus in some form or another. So you end up kind of being thrust together with your colleagues, and you do end up socializing a fair bit. Perhaps more than you would in almost any other
I wonder if I can drop any of this
situation.
gear.
In the humanities, if you're doing a PhD or even a master's, there's a point in which your courses, you finish off your courses, and then what happens? You retreat back to your room, to your cell, to work on your dissertation, your thesis, whatever it is. Your work is isolated, separated from other people. Yeah, I know. It's like every 3 years I decide I want not to be a hermit for a little bit, and I try to like socialize, and then I like say, okay, this is the reason why I hate socializing. So I'm kind of in that cycle right now where I'm like, I really want to socialize, and then it's like, I hate socializing. It's like I can never find people I actually want to socialize with, right? So. Even my roommate's complaining right now about the fact that it's like, why are we socializing so much? Like the program she's in, it's like it's too much. Like she and one of her friends in the program are like complaining. It's just like there's too much. Like we used to have time to spend, reflecting and thinking about our lives, and we don't do that right now. It's like, yeah.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
I think it's a combination of things. I think it is my 3-year cycle where I want to be social, kind of like a cicada in that way. Not quite 17 years or anything like that, but I mean, it does feel like there's a long period of time where I'm perfectly content on my own, and then suddenly I'm like, I kind of want to be like able to hang out with people, and yeah, okay, we're gonna eat the crappy tin and try not to get poisoned. Okay, we didn't get poisoned. Yay. Okay. This was not fully stocked, but we do have a bed, so we will take that. At least we have a bed. Yeah. But I know for men especially, after 40, there is kind of this, they refer to it as the epidemic of loneliness. And it is kind of that way where you do like take stock of your life and realize you don't have that many close relationships. I do have close relationships, but I don't have close relationships right now with people who are in the same city as me. And I think that's part of what's causing me a little bit of this anxiety and loneliness, is that sense of like, I don't have the people around me that I would just say like, oh, it's a slow Saturday and I just want to hang out with someone else. And I don't have people to hang out with. And some of it is because like as people get older, they do find themselves partners and start like their worlds become a little smaller because they are focused on their partner or on their families or things like that, which is totally normal. It just means it's harder and harder to find sort of a circle of friends that you can hang out with. I loved my time in Portland because I ended up becoming embedded in a very, very good community of writers and artists who did a lot of stuff together. And I got involved in community radio work. I got involved in all these different other things. And I was like very active. And I loved that part of my life. When I was in Los Angeles, I was very integrated into like the poetry and literary scenes and doing different things involved with like, I mean, LA at that time was kind of full of like activity. There were lots, this was long before the pandemic. So there was like, and real estate prices hadn't jacked up quite as high as they are now. And so back then there were literary events, 2 or 3 literary events every single night. You could go to open mics, you could go to readings and book launches. There were just things to do. I mean, certainly I was busy with work when I was working, or I was busy with school, but still, I felt like there were options available to me. Right now, Vancouver, it's hard. There's just not as many things happening, and some of it is just there's not as much. A number of reading series have closed. Bookstores are struggling. We just had this big writers festival this past week, but it was like mostly geared towards workshops and paid events where you have to pay to attend. And mostly like with that model, like a model where it's less community oriented and more like younger or emerging writers seeking mentorship or counsel or education come to these events. But I don't feel like I'm part of that community. I'm a peer to the people who are providing instruction. So yeah, and I think like my life has slowed down a bit, but there's a part of me that really wants to, like, I feel like I'm disconnected from people in my own peer group, like, not my own peer group, my own age bracket. I don't have very much in common with people of my age. Because I've spent so much time returning to graduate school, pursuing different programs, I've effectively set myself back a whole generation. So like I end up having more in common with millennials than I do with Gen X, right? Even though technically I'm Gen X. And so my Gen X friends, I mean, they're all settled. They're like mid to late career. They're grandparents or becoming grandparents. I mean, it's a weird space to be in where like they've had plenty of life experiences that I have not had. And I don't know if I will have, just the way my life is working out. So, yeah, and it's not like I'm necessarily envious of those specific, aspects of their life, but it is a way in which we are not living the same type of life and don't have nearly as much in common. And so I think that has been a real challenge. Like even when I do like go to some events with people that are closer to my age bracket, I find like I have very little in common with them. I have some things in common with them in terms of like, pop culture references and, lived experiences in certain aspects. But then not many people I know have been through as much schooling as me. Not many people have made the type of priority goals that I've had where I left like traditional careers in programming to pursue creative writing and now library science. It's like the uncommon path. And for some people it may seem too bizarre or even off-putting. It's like, why would you do that? Why did you do that to yourself? So yeah, I feel like, and then the people that do understand, are frequently people who are in a different generation who, out of necessity, have had to reinvent themselves multiple times. So that's the millennials and the Gen Zers, right? Are kind of in that boat where things are more precarious. And that's who I end up having good connections with. And then I'm also, a lot of times, although, I mean, age is happening to me. I am picking up gray hairs in my sideburns. But in large respects, people still are very confused about how old I am. And so I regularly get confused for someone
This pack
in
is getting
my
heavy.
early 30s. And yeah, and so it's kind of, I mean, it's flattering, but it's also confusing, right? Yeah, and I think that's also part of it is like, yeah, just like I feel like there are people, a lot of people I talk to that are in my age bracket, or even not even my age bracket, just like they haven't had as many experiences. Um, so the perspective they have on the world is a different perspective. Um, it's not necessarily bad. It's just that it feels like there's a different conversation, and yeah, I'm not certain what to do about that. Um, okay, so we definitely want Forge. Basically, librarians and scholars who care about the intersection between technology and the humanities and arts. And many of these people are weird people who have way too much experience in all sorts of eclectic fields and are mashed up together. And you know what? That's my tribe. That's my people. It's like all these weirdos, right? And so I kind of felt very much at home there. But we are all like often isolated in our own institutions, and so yeah, so I feel like that kind of summer camp was, I mean, basically it was a summer camp, was very helpful for me to feel like, okay, I'm not like completely out there. There are other people out there, who have a similar sort of perspective on the world, or have similar sort of like weird combinations of skills and experiences. Yeah. No porridge, I think. Any single people, and that's a whole different problem, right? Like they're coming from all over North America and sometimes even further away, and yeah, and like a lot of them are. Some of them are partnered up. Some of them are single but interested in, how can I put this? We're not on the same page in terms of interest, right? um, the digital humanities and librarians in general skew like these days skew pretty queer, right? So there's a whole like spectrum of different identities and orientations and experiences in there, and then I'm already like an oddity within that. So, you know, no, it was great chatting with you, Lake Q, and yeah, have fun on your night out. So, or are you wrapping up work and heading home? But in either case, yeah, great chatting with you. We are still without a bedroll. This is so terrible. This run will probably go without a bedroll, really. Yay. More water. Okay, let's see what we got here. We want Okay, let's do some repairs here. Okay, let's grab some torches. I can't believe we still haven't found a bedroll after all this time. Yeah, we should probably figure out a way home. Is buildable? Yeah. So this is, oh, okay. That part is reversible. This part is not really. You come down, but you can't go back up. Yeah, okay. Although maybe there's a way to do this. No, there's no way to do it. Okay. Oh, this is where we're at. Plane crash.
Barely walk with this much gear.
Yeah, maybe sleeping over here. Alright. Oh. Okay, perfect.
Come on, little fire. Perfect.
That's not a whole lot.
I'm not gonna be
No,
able to
we're at
carry this
cooking
load for much
4.
longer.
Not bad. Thermos and bedroll.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
Okay, let's smash up some boxes, see if we can find useful things.
My fingers feel numb.
Okay, nothing in the crates. Okay.
The sun is setting. It's gonna get a lot colder soon.
Okay, gonna wrap up here a little early tonight. Yeah, but we will catch up soon again, and see you all in probably Monday night, I think. Okay, take care.